In our body, there are about 100 trillion cells. These are a lot of cells, and the reason they know how to do and function what we need to do to live is because of a long winding molecule called deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA. This DNA contains the blueprint information that tells cells how to specialize into the different organs in our body. Some of these organs include the eye, our skin, the lungs, and kidneys, just to name a few. This DNA instruction set is also called the human genome. Are we unique? The answer to this question is yes and no. Yes, because we come in different sizes and shapes and colors. The no part is because, oddly enough, the difference between myself and you is only 1% of our human genome. That means we are 99% similar. But that 1% difference in our human genome is very important because it makes us susceptible potentially to different diseases and how we respond to medications. Do genes determine my destiny? The answer to that is no, and here's the reason why. The DNA, or the human genome, is just one piece of the puzzle. There are other important parts of the puzzle piece that determine us. These include our environment, our lifestyle, and things like diet and exercise. Glaucoma is damage to the optic nerve. When the optic nerve gets damaged, it can no longer convey the light information that comes into the eye to the brain. There are no warning signs for glaucoma. Usually it is not painful, and typically patients won't realize they're losing vision until very late stages of the disease. Anybody can get glaucoma, but usually it's people who are over the age of 60 who are at higher risk. However, there are certain ethno-racial groups that are at higher risk. For example, in African Americans, those who are over 40 seem to be at a younger age to get glaucoma. In addition, Latinos and Asians, as well as women, seem to be affected more. Unfortunately, glaucoma, if left untreated, can lead to irreversible blindness, yes. But there are effective treatments for lowering eye pressure, which can decrease the rates of blindness. How do we detect glaucoma? Well, it takes actually what we call a comprehensive eye exam. What is an eye exam? Well, it involves going to the eye doctor for a vision check, and then also certain examinations at a microscope called the biomicroscope. At this microscope, we measure the eye pressure, we look at the drainage angle, and we look at the front structures of the eye as well as the optic nerve. How is glaucoma treated? Well, we've had several major NIH-funded clinical research studies that have shown that lowering the eye pressure is very effective. Eye pressure is determined by fluid production in the eyeball. This clear fluid is actually called aqueous humor. Number one, it nourishes the tissues within the eye structure. Number two, it gives clear fluid for light to travel through. And number three, it also gives the shape of the eye by lending pressure to the eye. And for glaucoma, our current treatments aim to lower the pressure to minimize any pressure-related nerve damage that's actually in the back of the eye. Now, to take a specific look at the success we've had in glaucoma, you can look at this whole list of genes. And it turns out that we found about approximately 70 genes or genetic locations within the human genome that actually cause glaucoma. But as you can see, despite having the success in 70 areas within the human genome, they only account for 5% of the glaucomas. That means we have our work cut out for us to find out what's responsible for the other 95% forms of glaucoma. One of my areas is pharmacogenomics. As I mentioned, most of our treatments right now are all geared to lowering eye pressure. There are drugs that decrease the aqueous humor inflow, those drugs that increase the outflow at two different paths. You have the glaucoma drugs. We have to know how those drugs get into the eye, a process called pharmacokinetics. We have to know how the drugs then work at the drug target to lower eye pressure. And more importantly for the patient, of course, is does it work, the clinical outcome. And this is the area of what we call pharmacogenomics. And the hope is the results from this study will take the guesswork out of glaucoma management. Informed consent is a very important component of translational research. This tool is used to instruct the research subject who volunteers to participate in the study. It tells them the purpose of the study, it tells them about what the risks are in the study, and it talks about the potential benefits of the study. All of these different parts are important to engage someone to participate in research and advance science. This is a very exciting time in medicine and science. I really encourage you to be part of this. You can make a difference. Study hard in high school, continue on in college, and you'll have amazing opportunities in the health career field.